Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Unfortunately, Monday and Tuesday this week were a little crazy. Wasn't able to hop on the show, but we do have a show today. We've got a show tomorrow. Casey will be joining us tomorrow, so we're going to have a great show, kind of go over his soccer plays as well and what happened there. So, look, we are here. College basketball, Sweet 16 is tomorrow. MLB opening day today, officially. Tomorrow, tons of games for the opening day. NBA is nearing the end of the season, about to head into the postseason. A lot of fun stuff going on. This is probably one of the other greatest times is when MLB starts, right? College basketball is just winding down here to the end. We had a great college basketball season, I believe plus 40.23 units currently for the college basketball season. Look, that's a great season. Let's see if we can replicate that with MLB this season. And let me go ahead and just start by putting up that graphic. I'm going to start showing the graphic, not the all-time, but we're going to go with the current season, 2025, 2026, and then for MLB as well. So there we are currently plus 15.76 units. That includes our NBA season, college basketball season since 2026, since the start of January. We're not going all the way back to the very beginning of those. I mean, I guess I probably could, then it would be plus, what's that, 46, about 47 units, somewhere around that range we're looking like. But, we're just doing since 2026. I might update it, and like I said, put it just with the total of each season. But fresh slate there. Starting tomorrow. Today we're going to watch. We're going to have a fun one today, watch that game. Tomorrow is going to be the one that we're going to be kind of sending some action in. So we're excited about that. Again, college basketball, we'll talk a little bit about that maybe today, probably tomorrow a little bit more. We'll see how much time we've got. And then really just kind of get into NBA as well, because we know NBA, we still have our NBA betting strategy, which I've got to update here. I've been super busy, haven't even updated that, so we may have plays on that as well. I'll have to kind of double check. As always, visit sportbetextra.com to get all of the plays for my Casey as well. You can get all of them there. Also on the Tails app, follow me on the Tails app. I've just joined up over there as an expert. You guys can follow. It's going to be the same subscription as SportBet Extra. $10 a week is what we've got over there. You can also get you a free trial over there. Check it out. Plays will be posted on SportBet Extra and over there simultaneously. So there's where we are. Let's get into a little bit of NBA, a little bit of college basketball, and then we'll hop into some MLB. Again, I don't know if we're going to have any plays on MLB, not for today. But college basketball, I mean, look, Sweet 16 starts tomorrow. We've got some great games for tomorrow. Texas, Purdue, which I don't understand why they're, have Houston, Illinois, and Arkansas, Arizona playing so late, but it is what it is. Texas, Purdue laying the 7.5 number there against Texas. Look, Texas is that, I mean, you don't really have a Cinderella team, but they're sort of that Cinderella team as an 11 seed, but they're SEC school, so it's not really a Cinderella team, right? High Point had the chance to be it, couldn't quite do it. But Texas here, they've been playing very well as of late. The season they started off decent, mid-season not so well, and they've been playing pretty well as of late. Against Purdue, though, that Purdue team looks pretty solid. I don't know if I would be wanting to bet against them at the moment. 7.5 is a pretty big number, especially when we get to these parts here. I don't know if I'm laying a 7.5 when we get down to the Sweet 16. These teams are really kind of the best of the best here. They've etched themselves, as really the top tier team. So probably not going to be laying many close to double-digit numbers. I would lean Texas plus 7.5 there. Iowa, Nebraska, what a crazy ending there with Iowa, Florida. We jumped in on Iowa live. That was, I believe I posted that. I can't remember where I posted that, if it was Tails app or something like that. But we jumped in on Iowa live when they were down against Florida in the last like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it was, and got really the original number plus two something. I can't remember the exact number, but we ended up cashing that one for a unit. But that's not getting tracked. That's just a live in-game play there. Nebraska, they're laying a small number, -1.5 against Iowa. The Nebraska defense, man, they look pretty solid against Vanderbilt. They played really well. They shot the ball well. The threes were falling per usual. So I mean, Nebraska looks like a really good team right now. Arkansas, Arizona. I mean, as much as I love Darius Acuff and that Arkansas team, man, he's such a fun player to watch. He's got such quick movement, such a pure shot, man. Watching Darius Acuff for Arkansas is just it's fun to watch him. Arizona, however, is the overall better team, laying that 7.5 number again. I don't know if I would lay a 7.5. I'd probably be on Arkansas, but I wouldn't be surprised, with Arizona winning this one, maybe by 3, 4, 5, somewhere around that range. And then Illinois, Houston. Houston, man. I mean, it's a 2.5. It's here in Houston where they're playing. This game has Houston written all over it, -2.5, which makes me nervous. This team makes me nervous because Illinois looks good. That team is scoring from all over the field, from three, from inside the paint, just all over, man. That Illinois, it's a small number, +2.5. Yeah, that's something I'm a little nervous about as a Houston fan, especially a Houston graduate. It's not one of those. I'm definitely not going to let my bias be like, oh yeah, Houston's got it. No, man, Illinois is a solid team. Illinois definitely has the chance to win this one here. I won't be betting on this one at all. I'm not going to have any line on it. Again, -2.5, such a small number. I want to see Houston win this and win it convincingly, but I don't know if that's going to happen, so we won't be on that one at all. Friday, we've got a few more games there in the Sweet 16. I'd like to see if I can pull up something real quick here on Kalshi. Again, this is something that we've talked about. Kalshi, go join, use code Paul Rami, get you free $10. That's all you got to do. Go use code Paul Rami. You get a free $10 for joining there on Kalshi. Look, I took last week the national championship. Both teams are still in it. Both teams are around 30-1, somewhere around that range. And play on Friday, and there are going to be some great games there. Looks like I'm having some issues with the video there. It keeps kind of cutting in and out. But look, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and pull this screen up for everyone to see who we've got over on Kalshi once I can get logged in. It's acting a little funny at the moment, but I'll talk about that in a second. St. John's Duke -6.5 there. I mean, yeah, I'm big on that St. John's team. I'm liking that squad. Defensive, I thought Hofstra was going to beat them. We picked them to go on. I did have Akron beating Alabama if they did match up against each other. But look, Alabama has not slowed down ever since the Aiden Holloway stuff and him getting arrested, and not with the team for the tournament, all over the floor. So I would not be laying that 9.5. I would definitely be on Alabama here, that +9.5. Again, like we just said, a lot of these kind of big number dogs is the way to go for the Sweet 16. Michigan State, UConn, small favorite there, -1.5. Look, Tom Izzo in March, he's tough to bet against. Jeremy Fears, Jackson Kohler, Cohen Carr, these three guys are really lighting it up. They're really pushing this team to its limit. I love what they're doing defensively and offensively. UConn, man, they're playing well. Also, UCLA, it was a close game there the first half, and then second half they just kind of did what they do and took control of that game and went ahead and just started winning. That's what UConn does. And then Tennessee, Iowa State. Iowa State, man, if they knock those shots down, we just gotta watch out, be careful. Iowa State is a dangerous team, very good defensively. If they get their shots falling, watch out. It's going to be a tough one for Tennessee. That's just kind of, looking at all those there. So looks like we have just about got Kalshi pulled up here. I'm trying to get through all my my tracking, some of the MLB stuff we're going to be talking about too. Trying to pull all that up here. And so it's a lot of stuff going on. But I do want to see if I can go ahead and screen share this one to show the nut and the numbers that you can still get if you're on Kalshi. Let's move on over and let's get this pulled up here. Kalshi's, it's ever since I've been on it, it's been a pretty cool, fun app there to trade on. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up this portfolio here that we've got, which is sport. That's the thing. Sports betting, it's not sports betting. It's investing really when you look at it. It's something, if you can buy in and cash out at the right times, you can make some money here. So let's show you what we've got here. Let's go ahead and pull up that screen share. Get Kalshi up on board here. Give me a minute as it loads. So here is where we're at. Two teams for college basketball that I just talked about that we're buying in on. Acting a little funky here, but it's about to pull up. So two teams, both playing on Friday that we have futures on too. I took each one for a quarter unit. I didn't give this out. It's more of something that, look, I bet it on my own, but these we're starting to kind of really feel, look, we may have a chance with these here. If not, maybe we'll have a cash out option. And I'll give you a hint with these once it pulls up here. These two teams, if they do advance as far as they can, they'll meet here to get to the Final Four. So looking at this one here, I don't know if anyone is really able to see that, but we've got a couple. So you can see here, there's two that we've got on one, again, both about a quarter unit. So total 55 there. But look, Michigan State to win it all. You can still get them at about this same number here. And St. John's. Both teams, we have a quarter unit on there. Michigan State pulls it off. That's plus almost 8 units there, 797 and some change. And then St. John's would be almost 9 units, as it's an 890 gain there that we would realize. Quarter unit can turn into 8 units or 9 units. If we can get St. John's and Michigan State to meet up in the Elite Eight, it's either A, we cash out both for a little bit of profit, we let both ride and hope one wins it, and that's the options that we're going to have to choose from. So that's where we're at. Michigan State, St. John's, both of them there to win the men's college basketball NCAA March Madness tournament. That's who we've got, Michigan State, St. John. So, look, that's it for college basketball. I just wanted to get that pulled up real quick and just talk about it slightly. I'm buying in on both of those teams. I've never been a huge Michigan State fan. I used to always fade Michigan State. But Tom Izzo's got these guys playing incredible, and you can never count Tom Izzo out with his guys. So we are on Michigan State here. Again, St. John's as well. Last year, I was on St. John's to win it all. I was a year early. This is the year they've really got the chance to do it. Again, I think they're going to be a tough matchup for Duke there. I think Michigan State is going to really be tough for UConn. If both pull it off, like I said, we've got a ticket. We're going to have both of them meeting in the Elite Eight. Winner will move on. We lose one, that's fine. We still got a pretty nice, return on there if they can get it at least into the championship game. So there's where we are with college basketball. On to MLB. Today, Yankees, Giants, Logan Webb, Max Fried. Look, we're not going to have a lot of data. So here's the difference with MLB, the way we bet it, the picks we give out against college basketball, right? College basketball is a lot about your coaching style, the players, especially for the college kids, who's in, who's out, where they're playing, the numbers, the market has a lot to do with it, which way the numbers are moving as well. MLB is a lot different. MLB is strictly analytics with also some other sort of feels with eye tests, a lot of the eye test as well. If you're an analytics person, MLB is a sport for you. That's just the way it is. MLB has switched to all about analytics. They're going to find who's the best guy for that position, no matter really what the name is, and put them in there mostly. So MLB, we're going to be talking, when we talk MLB, it's going to be a lot of the pitching and batting matchups, right? A lot of the history, a lot of how the pitchers, what kind of form they're currently in. We're not going to go crazy betting MLB right out of the gate. We'll get a couple plays here or there when we start to see spots. We've got NBA that we can bet. College basketball, like I said, is ending. It's coming near the end there. MLB, we're just going to kind of dip our toes in a little bit before we get crazy betting MLB. Today, I'm not betting it. I do like Giants on the money line here. I think just overall they have a better team there. Looking at their starting lineup, Arias, Matt Chapman, Devers there, the DH, Adames, stop. And then Ramos in left field, Schmidt, Bailey, and Bader out in center field. So pretty solid lineup. Hitting is okay, but they've got Logan Webb. Logan Webb's a solid pitcher there. No Anthony Volpe for New York. So looking at the other side, obviously Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge there, Cody Bellinger, Ben Rice, Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, that 1 through 5 is stacked. And then you got Chisholm at the 6 hole. Junior Caballero there in the 7 spot, Ryan McMahon, and Austin Wells as your catcher. So, I mean, we know the Yankees are set up. We know that. But, I like what the Giants did this offseason. I want to scroll down and kind of just talk about that a little bit, about what that team did. I mean, obviously, having Devers is going to be huge for them there, especially in that DH spot. But look, adding Arias, they added some pitchers, Adrian Hauser, Tyler Mahle, of course, Harrison Bader. They added the much-needed pitching rotation that they got. Okay, they lose Justin Verlander. That wasn't a big deal. He's just kind of, didn't do much anyways. But look, they've got a solid rotation. If they can get some – if Arias can produce there as the leadoff, that's going to be nice, especially when you've got Chapman and Devers. That 1, 2, 3, 4 that they've got is pretty solid for San Francisco. The back end is okay. Ramos is pretty solid there in the 6th spot. Bader, if Bader's able to get going, that's a great 9-hole hitter there. So look, San Francisco's got a pretty solid lineup. I think they did really well in the offseason with who they added. Arias again, Mahle, and some pitching. They're going to be a pretty solid team this year. And then when we look at, let's find the Yankees here as well and kind of talk about a little bit about what they did. Look, the Yankees, of course, they got Cody Bellinger re-signed. Trent Grisham there. Goldschmidt, he re-signed as well. Ahmed Rosario re-signed. They didn't do much besides that. It's pretty much the same roster as last year. I mean, nothing with them. Usually, New York's going to make a splash. I expect them to make some moves, of course, before the trade deadline. But right now, not too much movement as far as what they did in their lineup for the Yankees. So I like Giants here tonight. I like Logan Webb at home. I just think he's a solid pitcher there for the Giants. Nice little ace for them as well. I would lean Giants here. Money line, again, not going to give that one out. That's just a lean for me. That's not going to be part of our plays for tonight. But the rest of the plays that we are going to have will be posted over on sportbetextra.com. Let's talk. We're already 20 minutes in. Real quick, NBA, Hawks at Pistons. Pistons minus 2.5 there. I would lean Pistons. However, Hawks probably get it done. Lakers minus 8.5 against the Pacers. Lakers looking for a bounce here. I would lay the minus 8.5. Bulls at Sixers, 76ers minus 6.5. Bulls there, nice win against the Rockets the other day. They lose here against the Sixers. Sixers win and cover. Heat against the Cavs minus 2.5. Look, this Cavs team, they're not very solid defensively. They can score offensively. A nice little 4-game win streak. Heat, I think, can keep it within that 2.5 number. It's going to be a close one. I would lean Heat plus 2.5 there. Thunder at Celtics. Thunder minus 2.5. Any injuries, concerns? Not really. Nothing that's going to stand out for either of these teams. I would lean Celtics there. Money line for them at home. Spurs at Grizzlies. Spurs laying a 6 on the road against Memphis. Not even going to talk about that one. I would go Spurs, lay the 16.5 or not. I'm not going to be watching that game or have much interest. Wizards at Jazz. Battle for the worst teams. Neither of those, not going to even bother with that game. Rockets at Timberwolves. I do expect a bounce back here for the Rockets. Only laying that 1.5 number. I do believe Anthony Edwards, he's out for this game. I would lean Rockets minus 1.5. However, Timberwolves do look pretty solid even without. Mavericks at Nuggets. Nuggets laying the 11.5. After a kind of very fun game to watch, just finished up in Phoenix. I expect Nuggets here first half, but give me Mavericks to cover that 11.5 number. Nuggets, hot start, tired legs, get to them there. Give me Mavericks plus 11.5. Nuggets first half. There we go. Bucks, Blazers. Blazers laying the 12.5 here. Of course, no Giannis. I would be leaning Blazers, but not going to lay a 12.5 number with the Portland Trail Blazers. Just can't get me to do it. Nets, Warriors. Warriors minus 12.5 there against the Nets. I'm going to pass on this one as well. No Michael Porter for the Nets still. No Steph Curry again there for the Warriors. No big deal. I would lean Warriors minus 12. I'm not going to be on that one as well. And then Raptors at Clippers. Look, these two teams I really like to get involved with. I always talked about bet on team Raptors with RJ Barrett. Without him, no go. Look, some injuries. Brandon Ingram, he's questionable still. Waiting for information on him. Kawhi Leonard, he's questionable as of an hour ago, still questionable. So we don't know what we're going to get with those. If Kawhi Leonard doesn't give it a go, it's not going to matter. I would lay the 3.5 here with the Clippers as one of the options. So looking at tonight, I want to get a free play out before we end the show, before we wrap up, and then get the rest again over on sportbetextra.com and the Tails app as well. Again, you can go Tails, download that app and get you a free trial there. Look, in the NBA, there's not a lot to choose from. There is some NIT, which we did have an NIT pick yesterday. That one pushed, which is Utah State +4. But just looking at the other, Illinois State, Dayton, and Nevada, Auburn. Look, Auburn's really trying to prove a point here. I know they struggled against Seattle, but this team really wants to prove that, they should have been in the NCAA tournament. But now it's kind of hard to deal with that argument. You got Texas in there, and then that was one of the options that they would have had to get rid of. So Auburn, they're laying the 8.5. Not going to be on that. Dayton minus 7.5. I would lay the 7.5 with Dayton there. As for tonight, the free pick, let's go into the NBA here. We're going to go 76ers minus 6.5 here with this team. Just kind of wanted to double check. I know there's no Tyrese Maxey. No big deal. No Kelly Oubre. I believe Joel Embiid. Let's see. He's a game time call. So if he's out, we know that number's going to move. I'm still going to be in here on the Sixers minus the 6.5, kind of looking for a bounce back against the Thunder there. So let's see what number we can get on ProfitX. Again, use code Paul Rami there, and you'll get an extra 20% on your $100 purchase there. So let's get the NBA 76ers minus 6.5. We got a great number, minus 105 here on ProfitX. That's going to be the free play. Again, you'll see it on SportBetExtra.com. You'll see it over on the Tails app. 76ers minus 6.5, minus 105. Free play for tonight. Get the rest over on the website, over on Tails. I will see you guys tomorrow with KC. We're going to have a great show. Have a good one. Let's go.